Alright, let's get one thing out of the way. Klaus Lee Thunderballs might be the greatest game title of 2025. Sorry Baldur's Gate, sorry Donkey Kong Bonanza. Klaus Lee takes the cake, the bakery, and probably the whole retro block. Welcome to Veteran Game, where we serve up deep dives, fearless reviews, and gaming opinions with a laser stare. So if you're into bold takes and real talk, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to like this video for more unfiltered reviews. Now let's crank up the synths and get into Klaus Lee Thunderballs. So, who is Klaus Lee? Picture every action hero you grew up with. Now crank the camp, the one-liners, and the jetpack up to 11. Klaus is the tongue-in-cheek throwback to the kind of protagonist who probably drinks gasoline for breakfast and still gets the girl before the credits roll. And in true 80s style, the plot is basically Klaus is chilling at home with a total babe, gets zapped into a mysterious video game world and has to blast, hover, and explode his way out. That's it. No monologues, no Oscar-worthy cutscenes, just pure platforming mayhem. Klaus Lee Thunderballs is a 2D action platformer with more than 100 tightly crafted levels. Each stage is its own mini gauntlet, blending precision platforming, fast-paced puzzles, and some serious old-school punishment. Your goal: survive the traps, zap the baddies, save the lost explorers, and make it to the exit without losing your sanity. Easy, right? Yeah, not quite. Your tools are as over the top as Klaus's ego. A jetpack with limited fuel, laser eyes that can fry enemies and blocks but only at short range, and a stash of dynamite that'll blast through obstacles or give you the edge in tricky spots. If you're thinking, wait, this sounds a little like HERO or Rick Dangerous, you're not wrong. Thunderballs is proudly wearing its influences on its retro sleeve. Here's the real hook. Every level is a puzzle as much as it is a platforming challenge. You're constantly juggling resources, jetpack, fuel, limited dynamite, and the ultra-short range of your laser eyes. Need to clear a gap but low on fuel? Better hope there's a safe landing or a refuel pickup. Stuck behind a wall? You can try zapping through, but it takes forever. Dynamite gets you through in a flash if you haven't already blown it on the last death trap. And trust me, you'll die. A lot. Klaus Lee doesn't have a health bar. One mistake and it's instant restart. Crushed by falling spikes? Restart. Bitten by a snake because you got greedy? Restart. Missed the timing on a color-coded laser puzzle? You guessed it, restart. It's tough, it's sometimes frustrating, but it's always fair. When you finally nail that perfect run and snag a gold medal, you'll feel like a true action hero. Speaking of medals, each level is ranked with bronze, silver, and gold. Getting gold is an exercise in absolute mastery, flawless jetpack movement, perfect dynamite throws, split-second decisions. Unlocking all the golds in a world even gives you new outfits for Klaus. Because if you're going to die 1000 times, you might as well do it with style. One thing I really dig is the game's learning curve. Early on, you're just learning the ropes, dodging spiders, timing lasers, and figuring out that yes, jetpack fuel is not infinite. But as you progress, the levels get bigger, the puzzles get trickier, and the enemies become way less forgiving. Color-coded keys, pressure plates, torch traps that plunge everything into darkness, even hazards that seem designed purely to mess with your muscle memory. But nothing ever feels cheap. If you fail, it's because you hesitated, not because the game cheated you. Controls are rock solid. Whether you're playing on Switch, PS4 or PC, Klaus's movement feels deliberate. The jetpack is floaty but precise, and the laser dynamite combo is instantly satisfying. The only real frustration is the lack of checkpoints. Some longer levels might have you screaming at the screen if you make a mistake near the end. But hey, that's the old school charm. And if 100 plus developer levels aren't enough, enter the level editor. This is where Thunderballs goes from solid indie platformer to potential cult classic. The editor is intuitive and lets you build anything from devious death traps to chill exploratory levels. Want to torture your friends with pixel-perfect jumps? Go for it. Feel like making a love letter to your favorite old-school game? The tools are all there. Even better, you can share your creations online and browse community stages cross-platform, no less. With filters for most popular, highest rated, and even search by level name. There's basically endless replayability here. Performance is smooth. The visuals are that perfect blend of retro but not retro, clean pixel art, vivid color palettes, and environments that echo the 80s without looking dated. Each biome, lost temples, cold caves, secret labs, has its own vibe, keeping things fresh. The music is a pulse-pounding synth ride, straight from the days when every movie trailer had 3 snare hits and a guitar solo. Sound effects are chunky and satisfying, and you'll know instantly when you've detonated the right wall. Let's talk negatives, because I'm not here to sugarcoat anything for veteran game. The difficulty can border on punishing, especially with the one-hit deaths and the lack of checkpoints on longer stages. Sometimes enemy placement can feel a little random, turning a perfect run into an exercise in frustration. The level editor is robust, but building great levels is still tough. Don't expect Mario Maker levels of polish out of the box. And yeah, there's no deep story or dramatic twists, this is all about gameplay. But if you grew up on NES era challenge, or if you're just tired of modern platformers holding your hand, Klaus Lee is absolutely worth your time. There's so much value here, a meaty campaign, endless user levels, a genuinely impressive editor, and enough content to keep you busy for months. Even if Klaus never makes it into the Action Hero Hall of Fame, he's definitely earned a spot on the veteran game playlist. So, should you play Klaus Lee Thunderballs? If you crave a mix of old school pain and new school creativity, this is the platformer for you. But just be ready to die a lot, laugh at Klaus's ridiculous one-liners, and maybe, just maybe, become a legend yourself. What do you think? Have you designed your own nightmare stage yet? Drop your best level ideas in the comments. And if you want more bold reviews and fearless hot takes, subscribe to Veteran Game. This is where gamers get real. Now grab your jetpack, zap that like button, and I'll see you on the next level.